All right, let's jump right into this mission briefing. Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're looking at the modern business landscape exactly as it is, a high-stakes battlefield. You are about to be equipped with a highly tactical toolkit of both soft and hard skills, designed to help you not just survive out there, but completely dominate. To do this, we're pulling some seriously cutting-edge insights from the Forbes Communications Council, communication science from university lab sites, and elite vocal coaching strategies from VoicePlace.
So, I want to ask you straight up, are you truly prepared for your next high-stakes deployment? Just think about the chaotic environment we're operating in right now. We are navigating a wildly volatile landscape, right? It's filled with rapid AI shifts, digital deception, insane market changes, and these incredibly high-pressure negotiations. Sure, your technical skills might get you a seat at the table, but it's your cognitive armor and your communicative weapons that are actually going to secure the objective.
To put things into perspective, think about this staggering number, $13 billion. That's billion with a B. That is the massive amount lost to online fraud and scams in 2024 alone. Deception is literally everywhere. Because of this, everybody's guard is up, meaning the stakes for establishing genuine, authentic trust have never been higher. If you can't cut through all that noise and get people to trust you immediately, well, you're already losing the battle. Okay, let's move into Act 1, Internal Armor. We're going to focus on establishing the growth mindset and a code of honesty. Our very first objective requires upgrading your internal operating system. The growth mindset is defined as the conscious decision to never stop learning, to view failures as vital opportunities, and to constantly adapt to industry shifts. So, the crucial takeaway here is that this mindset is your ultimate cognitive armor. Think about it. When unpredictable market changes hit, like this whole AI revolution we're living through, a fixed mindset just freezes up. But a growth mindset? It adapts, it pivots, and it actively finds the hidden advantage in all that chaos.
According to the Forbes Communications Council, this isn't just fluffy self-help. It translates directly into battlefield superiority. It tunes you right into customer needs so you can actually calibrate your strategies. It encourages absolute fearlessness and curiosity, which fosters a fail-fast mentality. And honestly, failing fast is a game changer. It means you stop wasting resources and quickly figure out what actually works. That boosts your resilience, helps you anticipate trends instead of just reacting to them, and ultimately allows you to execute leading strategies that drive true ROI and increase customer lifetime value.
But, a growth mindset on its own isn't quite enough. It really has to be paired with our next tool, radical honesty. In a landscape filled with that $13 billion of deception we talked about earlier, being honest isn't just some nice moral choice anymore. It's a highly effective, strategic asset. It is your code of honor. Embracing radical honesty is what cuts through the corporate BS, builds vital alliances, and fosters deep, unbreakable trust in a really cynical world. Just compare the outdated, defensive corporate tactics with the modern operatives' approach. The old rules basically told us to hide our mistakes, avoid conflict at absolutely all costs, and use what they called benevolent deception to just smooth things over. But the new operative rules? They demand that we embrace failing fast, deploy radical honesty, and maintain absolute transparency. The old way builds fragile, terrified organizations. The new way builds resilient, incredibly adaptable teams. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. Wait, won't radical honesty hurt people's feelings and ruin my working relationships? Well, despite our natural fears of hurting others, the research proves we consistently and massively overestimate how much the truth actually hurts. We build this huge, irrational fear up in our heads, but the actual harm is surprisingly low. More importantly, we drastically underestimate the sheer amount of trust built by just telling the truth. The long-term benefits of clarity and trust absolutely dwarf the temporary, awkward discomfort of a difficult conversation. Let's pivot now to Act 2, the weaponized voice. This is all about tactical execution in high-stakes environments. Think of this part of the explainer like your tactical loadout screen. You wouldn't use the exact same tool for every single job, right? So you definitely shouldn't use the same voice for every meeting. For presentations, you need a projected, varied delivery to keep the whole room engaged and energetic. But step into a high-stakes negotiation, and your approach has to shift immediately to a calm, measured tone that projects a steady, professional, and persuasive presence, keeping emotions from escalating. And for conflict resolution, your tone objectives must be totally non-judgmental and encouraging, using a soothing vocal approach to just bring the temperature of the room way down. So how do we physically pull this off and literally weaponize your voice? Step 1 is the diaphragmatic breath. You've got to breathe from your belly, allowing it to expand, which builds vocal stamina so you don't get fatigued during those marathon discussions. Step 2 is strategic pacing and pausing. Don't just rush through your intel. Use well-timed, pregnant pauses before and after crucial statements. It builds crazy anticipation and lets the audience actually absorb the impact of what you're saying. Step 3 is finding your optimal pitch and zeroing in on enunciation. Crisp, clear articulation ensures your message lands exactly as intended without you sounding like a monotone robot.
Another huge pro tip here, it is absolutely critical to control your volume from that diaphragm rather than just pushing and straining from your throat. This gives you a much fuller, more resonant sound without wrecking your vocal cords. But hey, raw power isn't everything. You also have to know how to infuse warmth into your tone. Actually, something as simple as smiling gently when you speak literally changes your vocal acoustics. It instantly makes you sound more inviting and approachable, which is a key tactic for de-escalating conflicts and building instant rapport.
It's kind of like an inbound marketing strategy. Just as a company is constantly pushing software updates and refreshing its tactics to stay relevant, you have to continuously update your own internal software. Your mindset and your communication tactics require constant iteration. If you're relying on yesterday's communication styles, you're at serious risk of falling into AI-generated complacency. You have to be as dynamic and adaptable as the tech you're using every day. Which brings us to Act 3, Mission Debrief. Let's secure this objective.
Let's initiate a rapid-fire debrief here. I want to highlight this incredibly powerful insight from the Forbes Communications Council. When people stop growing, they start dying. The growth mindset is really a life mindset, the conscious decision to never stop learning and expanding your knowledge. This right here serves as our ultimate takeaway for this explainer. It's a stark reminder that in this modern corporate battlefield, stagnation is literally the only real failure. You either adapt, grow, and speak with true authority, or you become completely obsolete.
So, your toolkit is now fully loaded. You understand the impenetrable armor of a growth mindset, the unbelievable strategic power of radical honesty, and the tactical execution of a weaponized voice. I'm going to leave you with this final, provocative challenge. How are you going to deploy this arsenal in your next high-stakes mission? Are you going to fall back on those safe old rules, or will you step into the room, speak your truth with absolute clarity, and completely change the game? The deployment is yours. Good luck out there.